Look, I'll be honest. I'll hold my hand up in the air. I'll take one for the team. I was not very excited about The King's Man. It was a prequel to a franchise that I wanted to have a sequel, and the poor critic reviews and the fact that all three Kingsman films were just dropped on Disney Plus led me to believe that this film was going to be a stinker. So imagine my surprise when the film left me thoroughly entertained and reinvigorated my interest in the franchise. I guess, in this case, I agree with the fan response and not the critics. For anyone who has not seen the film, there will be some mild spoilers, but nothing that will ruin your viewing experience. Before I praise this film, I do want to talk about a few things that I didn't like. For starters, this film has the weakest villain of the Kingsman franchise. Both Valentine and Poppy were significantly more interesting and fleshed out than the antagonist of this film, who really feels like an afterthought once the film is over. Despite the actor giving a good performance and doing as much as they could with the role, I also think the action sequences in this film are weaker than the ones in the previous Kingsman films. They're not bad by any means, in fact they're great, it's just for me they didn't reach the same heights that the action scenes in the previous Kingsman films did, although I did really like the fight with Rasputin. The final issue I have is that the first 30 to 45 minutes of the film are really boring, and it feels like all that happens is Ralph Fiennes telling his son the exact same thing over and over again. Now on to the abundance of positives. The performances in this film are great, and you could tell every actor really did all they could with their roles, even if some characters were stronger than others. Ralph Fiennes really steals the show in this film. I was worried that he would feel like a rehash of Colin Firth's character from the previous Kingsman films, but he doesn't. He's his own character, and Ralph Fiennes is able to come across like a legitimate action star. It's common knowledge that Ralph Fiennes is a great actor, but even I was surprised by how seamlessly he falls into the role. Like Eggsy, Conrad is the beating heart of this film, and Harris Dickinson does a great job in making you as a viewer care for his character. I'd be very surprised if you come away from the film feeling nothing for his character. Djimon Hounsou is an actor who I'm always excited to see in a film, and he does not disappoint in this one, with his character getting a few cool moments. I also like how they show that there's a strong connection between Ralph Fiennes, Conrad, Shola, and their maid Polly, played by Gemma Arterton. It gives the characters a strong familial connection. Speaking of Polly, I found her character to be very enjoyable. I do wish she got a bit more screen time and that they fleshed her out a bit more, but overall she was a very welcome sight whenever she was on screen. The rest of the cast for this film is absolutely stacked. Rhys Ifans disappears into the role of Rasputin so much that my mom was surprised to see his name pop up on the credits. Rasputin is a real highlight of the film, and a lot of that comes down to the energetic performance put forward by Rhys Ifans. Aaron Taylor Johnson is in the film. He plays a pretty small role, but it was nice to see him reunited with director Matthew Vaughn after their time on Kick-Ass together. Daniel Bruhl, Stanley Tucci, Tom Hollander, Charles Dance and Matthew Goode round out the cast. All the actors are great, especially Tom Hollander who plays 3 characters and Matthew Goode who works wonders with his limited role. I can kind of understand why some people might not like this film, or at least be disappointed by it. If you're expecting another Kingsman film, then you're going to be let down. If the previous 2 Kingsman films were hyper-stylized versions of spy films, especially the Bond films, then the Kingsman film is a hyper-stylized version of period films, especially war films. What I'm trying to say is that this film is much darker than the first 2 Kingsman films, and lacks a lot of the goofier elements found in the first 2. The film also has no secret gadgets, and it's pretty realistic. Realistic for a Kingsman film anyway. I don't know how much this film keeps true to history, but I do know that my dad kept saying that's what actually happened, or that he thinks that's what they say happens. So it seems like the film is able to incorporate history into the plot. I also want to highlight one moment in the film, which I won't spoil, where a truly shocking moment in the film occurs, in my opinion, outdoing the death of Harry Hart from the first film. This moment single-handedly made me change my tune of the film, and turn the film from an alright one into a great one. I recommend this film to you and hope you watch it. I'm now excited for the next film in the Kingsman franchise. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe if you want to see more. Hope to see you next time. Bye bye.